Right now, thousands of Americans are trying to make money from artificial intelligence. Some are learning to code. Some are building chatbots. Others are selling automations, launching agencies, or promising that one clever prompt can create a business overnight. But a 19-year-old creator chose a much simpler path. He did not build an AI model. He did not launch a complicated software company. And he did not invent a revolutionary new technology. He simply learned how to explain artificial intelligence to people who felt left behind by it. His name is Maverick Malton. He began posting beginner-friendly AI videos from his phone. One of his first videos reached 1 million views. He left college. He built an audience of ordinary adults who wanted to understand tools like ChatGPT without listening to developers speak in technical language. And according to an account published by Business Insider, he has recently been earning around 6 figures a month from brand partnerships. Business Insider says it reviewed financial documents supporting the earnings described in the story. That does not mean every person who explains ChatGPT will make $100,000 a month. Most will not. But this story reveals something much more useful than a rare income number. It reveals one of the oldest opportunities in business. When a new technology becomes confusing, the person who explains it clearly can sometimes earn more than the person who understands every technical detail. This is the business of translation. Not translation between English and Spanish, translation between experts and everyone else. And as artificial intelligence enters American workplaces, homes, hospitals, schools, and small businesses, that translation may become extremely valuable. Maverick was introduced to technology early by his father. After high school, he enrolled at Arizona State University to study digital marketing. But he already suspected that a traditional corporate career might not be his future. During the summer after his first year, his friends began searching for internships. He chose a different experiment. He gave himself several months to see whether he could turn content creation into a real business. He posted his first TikTok video in May 2025. The subject was artificial intelligence. But his real discovery was not the technology. It was the audience. Most AI creators were speaking to programmers, founders, marketers, and young people who were already comfortable experimenting with new software. Their videos were filled with expressions like APIs, agents, workflows, large language models, and automation stacks. To someone already inside the AI industry, this language sounded normal. To millions of other Americans, it sounded like a foreign country. Maverick focused primarily on adults between roughly 30 and 65. These viewers had heard about ChatGPT. They knew artificial intelligence could affect their jobs. They saw their children, co-workers, or competitors using it. But many did not know where to begin. That gap became his business opportunity. The opportunity is larger than one creator. AARP research indicates that generative AI use among Americans aged 50 and older reached approximately 30% in 2025, up from 18% in 2024 and 9% in 2023. That is rapid growth. But adoption does not automatically create confidence. Many people are curious about artificial intelligence while still feeling uncertain about privacy, accuracy, scams, and the possibility of making an embarrassing mistake. A separate international study conducted by EY and an AARP-affiliated organization found that many older adults who had tried AI found it useful for learning, work, and creative activities. But a large share also wanted simple guides and accessible training. That is the gap. The tools exist. The interest exists. The information exists. What is missing is someone who can make the information feel safe, practical, and relevant. Imagine a 55-year-old real estate agent. She does not want a 40-minute explanation of how a language model predicts tokens. She wants to know how to write a property description in 5 minutes. A 60-year-old manager may not care how an AI model was trained. He wants help summarizing a long report before a meeting. A parent may want to compare vacation options. A job seeker may need help improving a resume. A small business owner may want to answer customer reviews without spending an hour on every response. The technology is the same, but the explanation changes according to the person using it. That is what successful education businesses understand. People rarely pay attention to information simply because the information is correct. They pay attention when the information solves a problem they already recognize. Maverick's content reportedly followed a simple principle: do not reinvent the wheel. He studied topics that were already attracting attention. Then he tried to improve the hook, simplify the explanation, and publish while the subject was still gaining momentum. At certain points, he posted 3 or 4 videos a day. That volume created more opportunities to learn. Which opening sentence stopped viewers? Which demonstration created comments? Which use case made people share the video with a spouse, parent, or coworker? Every video became a small market test. This is important because content creators often make the wrong assumption. They believe their first task is to become completely original. But online, complete originality can be difficult for an audience to understand. A familiar problem with a clearer explanation is often more valuable than an original idea nobody is searching for. Maverick did not create the demand for ChatGPT tutorials. He found an underserved corner of that demand. Then he built content specifically for it. But views were not the main source of his income. Brand partnerships were. During his first months, he reportedly avoided sponsorships. He wanted to build trust before recommending products. When he had approximately 80 or 90,000 TikTok followers, companies were already emailing him with offers. At first, he ignored many of them. Then his father suggested a simple test. Reply with a high price and see what happens. His first reported partnership paid $2,400 for 2 videos. The offers continued. He says he has now completed more than 100 brand partnerships, and that those partnerships account for all of his revenue. This explains why the audience mattered so much. AI companies do not only need programmers to use their products, they need normal customers. They need office workers, parents, teachers, small business owners, salespeople, older professionals, people who are interested in artificial intelligence but may never follow a developer on social media. A creator who earns the trust of that audience becomes a distribution channel. The company is no longer paying only for a video. It is paying for access to attention. More importantly, it is paying for borrowed trust. And trust is what makes this business difficult to copy. Anyone can open ChatGPT. Anyone can record a screen. Anyone can list 5 prompts. But an audience can usually feel the difference between a person trying to help and a person desperately trying to sell another tool. That distinction becomes even more important when every second video contains a sponsorship. The moment viewers believe that every recommendation has been purchased, the business begins to destroy its most valuable asset: credibility. So what can an ordinary American realistically learn from this? Not that quitting college is always a good idea. Not that posting 3 videos will produce a 6-figure income. And certainly not that brand deals are guaranteed. The useful lesson is the niche selection method. Start with a group of people you understand, not everyone, one group. For example, AI for real estate agents over 50, AI for independent insurance brokers, AI for teachers, AI for American veterans looking for work, AI for restaurant owners, AI for caregivers, AI for construction contractors, AI for parents helping children with schoolwork. Then, identify the problems that group experiences repeatedly. Do they waste time writing emails? Do they struggle to create advertisements? Do they need to understand contracts? Do they miss customer messages? Do they fear losing their jobs? Do they need help preparing for interviews? The best content does not begin with the software. It begins with the frustration. Instead of saying, "Here are 5 amazing ChatGPT features," say, "This prompt can turn your messy meeting notes into a professional follow-up email." Instead of saying, "Artificial intelligence can transform real estate," say, "This is how a real estate agent can write 3 listing descriptions before finishing 1 cup of coffee." Specificity makes the benefit visible, and when the benefit is visible, people watch. A beginner could test this model without leaving a job or investing thousands of dollars. Choose one audience. Write down 20 repeated problems. Create 1 short video for each problem. Show the result before explaining the process. Use language that the audience already understands. Publish consistently for 30 days. Then, study the evidence. Not only views, look at saves, shares, questions, private messages, repeated comments. The questions reveal what the audience still does not understand, and those unanswered questions can become the next videos. At the beginning, monetization should not be the obsession. Trust should. Once an audience exists, several income streams may become possible. Affiliate commissions from tools the creator genuinely uses, paid workshops, beginner guides, one-on-one consulting, corporate training, a newsletter, sponsored content, or a small membership helping one profession use AI more effectively. But each income stream carries a responsibility. In the United States, the Federal Trade Commission requires creators to disclose material relationships with brands clearly and conspicuously. A creator should not hide a paid partnership behind vague phrases, and a sponsorship should never transform an untested product into a miraculous recommendation. Because the internet is already filling with fake AI success stories, fabricated entrepreneurs, manipulated revenue dashboards, invented businesses, young faces attached to impossible income claims. The details are often extremely specific because specificity makes a lie feel real. A fake creator may claim to have made $70,000 in 30 days. He shows a dashboard. He names the software. He explains the exact workflow. Then he sells a course teaching the same method. That environment creates a major opportunity for honest creators. When audiences become surrounded by exaggeration, credibility becomes scarce. And whatever becomes scarce becomes valuable. There is another risk. A business built entirely on brand deals is vulnerable. Algorithms change. Platforms lose popularity. Advertising budgets decline. A creator can lose relevance. A sponsor can end a campaign. And an audience may become tired of the subject. That is why the most durable version of this business eventually needs something the creator controls: an email list, a community, a training product, a consulting service, a website, a direct relationship with the audience. Followers are rented. Customer relationships are owned. Maverick's story is exceptional. He was early. He found an audience before many competitors noticed it. He produced at high volume. He had access to entrepreneurial advice. He built enough attention to attract an agency and hire an editor. Those advantages matter. But his central strategy does not require fame. You do not need 800,000 followers to become useful to 500 local accountants. You do not need a 1,000,000-view video to teach 50 business owners how to save 5 hours each week. You do not need to be the greatest AI expert in America. You need to understand one problem slightly better than the people experiencing it. Then explain the solution more clearly than everyone else. That principle has created businesses in every major technological transition. When personal computers arrived, people needed computer teachers. When websites arrived, businesses needed digital consultants. When social media arrived, companies needed content managers. Now, artificial intelligence is creating another layer of confusion. And confusion creates demand for guides. The biggest opportunity may not belong only to the engineers building the future. It may also belong to the people helping everyone else enter it. A 19-year-old reportedly built a six-figure monthly business by explaining AI to an audience other creators ignored. The important number is not $100,000. The important number is one. One audience. One repeated problem. One useful explanation. One piece of content that makes a complicated tool feel simple. That is where this business begins. Not by pretending to know everything about artificial intelligence, but by becoming the clearest teacher in one small corner of it. Because during every technological revolution, information becomes abundant. Understanding does not. And the person who creates understanding can build something extremely valuable.